Title belts to Hall of Fame. Doug and Tommy carved the name. Fists of fury and hearts of gold. Every story, every fight retold. Tales of glory, laughter, cry. Tennessee warriors with hearts open wide. In the ring or on the air, legends living without a care. On the mic they roar, on the mat they soar. Dangerous conversations, fans wanting more. Gas kings ruling the waves. Memphis wrestling raising the stage.
Hey everybody, welcome back once again to Dangerous Conversations with Dangerous Doug Gilbert and Tommy Wildfire Rich. Guys, this is episode 66. We're still rolling along.
Man, Gene, Tommy said that's 60 more than he thought we would do, so we're doing good. Man, hope everybody's doing good out there. The weather's finally warmed up. It's about 80 degrees. I know it's pretty down there with Tommy on the beach and everything. And, man, Tommy, how are you doing this week?
Man, I am so mad. I'm so mad, not at my wife, but I'm so mad because I missed this beautiful day in Myrtle Beach, man. It was a day to lay out at the pool, that's for sure. We've been shopping. We're getting ready to go to Las Vegas for WrestleCon, man. So she's been out doing some shopping, having a hard time. So I told her I'd go with them. We both had a hard time. So anyway, I ain't much of a shopper, no way.
I got you.
Unless it's on my favorite place, Temu.
Then you kill it, don't you?
Yes, sir. Shoot, I ain't had no mail in the mailbox in probably 20 years. And now I get something every other day.
and Tommy, what's cool, we'll go ahead and start right here. You was talking about going to Vegas. Man, that's coming up, and the people can catch you Friday and Saturday, which I know you'll be there, I think Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, but they can catch you Friday and Saturday, both days, right?
Yes, sir.
And
the Atlas will be there. Greg Hammer Valentine, plus all these other guys. I mean, they's legends, and there's guys that looking to be legends, and there's some that probably will never be a legend. So, I mean, it's some of everything out there. I mean, you've been out there. I mean, shoot, there's 15 things going on. WWE's got it going on, then WrestleCon. The year you and me wrestled for GCW, they just got all. This is, I guess, the biggest event of professional wrestling, because they've got something for everybody. I mean, the who's who of who's is going to be there, and then you don't know who else is going to be there.
And you're going to be at WrestleCon, right? That's where you're going to be at Friday and Saturday, right?
Yeah. Hey, but now, like Dougie said, I'll be there Thursday, and I'll be there Sunday with nothing to do. So if anybody out there's throwing a party in Vegas, just let me know.
And yeah, Tommy's got all kind of great photos, and you can get the photo op with Tommy, and I mean there'll be a lot of cool things out there. But he will be there, like he said, he'll get there Thursday, and I don't think he leaves till Monday, so he'll get there a little bit before a few of them and leave a little after a few of them. But man, if you want to get to meet Tommy, get your picture made with him and everything, he will be right there in Vegas. And Tommy, what actually casino is that in? The WrestleCon?
Horseshoe.
It's in Horseshoe.
Yeah.
Well, that's cool. And I think you're actually staying there, right?
Yes, sir. Staying right there at the Horseshoe. So if you need to get in touch with me, just call for Wildfire, ladies and gentlemen.
Gene, what about that? That sounds like a good time, don't it?
Oh, man. You know, that big event.
Now, hey, but I mean, that's going to be a heck of a time. I mean, I guarantee you. But I guarantee you, I'm excited about May the 8th and 9th, too. SCIW, the Brutal Brosy Battle Royal. And, I mean, I'm excited about that. Of course, you and me's going to be out there together. So it's going to be a fun weekend there, too.
Oh, yeah, it sure will. But like Tommy said, this weekend, this drops, I think, Friday, don't it, Gene?
Does.
So you could catch Tommy Friday night and Saturday night right after you're listening to us. If you're in Vegas, around Vegas, anywhere out there, stop by and see Tommy. And then we're going to April 25th, Jonesboro, Arkansas. Hurlbell Community Center. That's going to be a big show. Then Tommy said May the 8th and 9th. Man, I'm looking really forward to it. SICW Fan Fest 4, May 8th and 9th. Radisson Hotel, Fairview Heights, Illinois, just a suburb of St. Louis there. Fairview Heights, Illinois, Radisson Hotel. Tommy and myself will be there. The Memphis Mafia will team up against somebody. I'm not sure. I think Tommy might have a little bit of a clue about it, but I was going to ask Gene. This kind of gets off of this, but we'll get back on it. But yeah, like I said, me and Tommy really look forward to Fan Fest 4. And like Tommy said, the Bruce Brody Memorial Battle Royal. That's a big deal out there and everything. We'll get to see a lot of our friends, and that's really cool and everything. But everybody come out there and you can get your tickets now. Fairview Heights, Illinois, Radisson Hotel. Get your tickets. But I was going to ask Tommy something, Gene. I don't know if you've heard this, but in Tommy, it seems like me and you even learned kind of some more things about ourselves on this every once in a while. Somebody had sent me something and said they was talking about different people who trained, like who trained me. And I basically said my dad and my brother. A lot of people helped, but those two mainly. But somebody had sent me something and asked me, had you ever said to like me and Gene or anything that Dick Steinborn, did he help with Tojo and Jerry Jarrett training? No?
No, so I know who Dick Steinborn is. I mean, he wrestled in Tennessee when I started. But as far as him training me, no, I never got in the ring with him.
Well, that's what, and I don't know where somebody got this. If maybe you had a match with him or something.
Off but Wikipedia.
Excuse me.
Off of Wikipedia, probably. They got a bunch of misinformation about me. I've been married 4 times. I'm the only one still married to the same one.
Anybody can go on Wikipedia and update is what's crazy. Like I could go on here after we get done and update your page and say, Tommy Rich once had 3 heads and they removed 2 of them, and it would be there until somebody comes along and corrects it. It's just there. It's crazy how that Wikipedia works.
So, and see, I didn't know that, Gene. Which I mean, and that's probably where somebody got it if that's what it says on there. But somebody sent me that, but I had never heard that, which was a few things that I had never heard, but. I was looking at something also that was a little different, Gene. But Gene, you said you had somebody sent you a question or something you was going to ask Tommy.
Yeah, well, somebody had just asked me the other day. They said they were curious because they said like when their relatives or friends find out they're a wrestling fan and ask them questions, says he gets asked some really odd questions and he's just kind of surprised at like how people who don't watch wrestling or never follow wrestling kind of have these weird misconceptions about it. And so I was just curious. So like when you guys interact with people who aren't not at conventions, not wrestling fans, not people who are familiar with wrestling, they just know that you wrestle. What kind of odd misconceptions do people have about the business that you've had to correct over the years where you're like, no, that's not how that goes at all?
Well, I think Tommy tell you this. The first thing is that the conception is what they see on TV, which I mean, we would want that, and we would probably think that and everything. But that's the first thing. And if you're a heel, like me and Tommy's been heels before, you want everybody to not like you. And if you're doing your job real well, you're making everybody not like you. So, I think a lot of times people, if they're trying to figure you out and understand you and know that sometimes your persona, from TV will carry over into your regular life. But then when you're talking about just like people, friends that we know, Gene.
Yeah, just friends, or people you meet and somebody's like, hey, this is Doug, he's a wrestler. They all go, oh, wrestler, y'all all millionaires, right? And is it true y'all take blood capsules to make that blood happen? And just weird stuff
I
like
eat 4 every morning. hey, but check this out. I did the first episode of this podcast last week, and anyway, it's funny because you saying that, and I got something in the mail, but I'll get to that in a second. But it's it was different. They wanted, it was like before you was Tommy Rich, who was Tommy Richardson,
right?
And it was a pretty cool, pretty cool deal. I mean, because I had never thought about it like that, and what molded you to go, to get to where you got, and I thought that was pretty cool. So anyway, I hadn't had no mail from a fan since I was at TBS because that's the only place they could sell it.
Mm.
Well, I went down to my box yesterday, I think, and I got this letter. I didn't know. Anyway, it was from Ryan. I can't even, Messatzzia from Delmar, Delaware. And anyway, it's I opened it up and it had 3 Tommy Rich cards in it. Well, this guy, and of course, you know, I mean, I figured, you know, be some money or something in there. But anyway, you got to, I mean, I ain't going to read it to you, but I'm going to tell you what he said. Anyway, he had sent me 3 cards. And he said, they were my cards. Anyway, he wanted me to sign them. And he said, they're not for me, they're for my little boy. And I'm thinking, you know, he typed all this out and everything. Well, little boy's name's Miles. And I got to reading it, and he said, you know, you've lasted 2 decades in the wrestling. Little he knows it's been a lot longer. but anyway, long story short is, he asked me, he said, I was telling my son about you. It takes discipline. You got to work out. You got to, you know, you got to do everything to get it. It ain't going to come to you. And I just thought that was really cool. And so anyway, because he sends them to other athletes too. He said his son, that's a little bonding time for him and his son. And then he said that his son loves going to the mailbox and, you know, seeing if the mail's there. And I thought, well, dang, if he could type this letter, he ain't too little. But then at the bottom, it says, turn it over on the back. And it says, and I don't guess you can see it, but it said, of course, it's about as good as my writing and printing, but it says, Mr. Tommy, can you sign my cards, please, Miles? And it's got a picture of the belt. You know, it's got a picture of the belt. And he said, you are a good wrestler. And that just hit me, man. I told Terry Lee, and I said, sometimes it ain't about, you know, how much it costs, because that was a bigger payoff than I could ask for, you know, hit me right in the heart. I ended up signing them 3 and signed them 2 8x10s to send back with it, you know. I mean, that's just, you know, it's different sides, you know. I mean, it's, you know, but plus, I mean, like you talk about, you got closet fans that wrestle, that watch wrestling, but you ask them, they'll swear to goodness they never watch that stuff, you know. Yeah. I mean, everybody likes some wrestling. So, I mean, it's like I told that little boy, I mean, hey, you got to follow your dream, and if that's what you want to do, then, you know, you got to just keep following it. Yeah, I'm still living my dream, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And you know what's cool, Gene? We was talking about a few episodes ago, but somebody sent me a tape because we was talking about me and Tommy being in Japan together, and they sent me a tape of Tommy in '88 when he went for All Japan, and then in '93, in November of '93, when he went for War, which War was Tenryu, right, Tommy?
Yeah.
And everything, which. And Tommy and Tenryu, I don't think we've really talked about Tenryu much on here, Gene. Tenryu was really freaking awesome. I mean, he was a really nice guy, but he was a really tough guy. And Tommy got to know him a lot in Georgia, right, Tommy?
Yeah, he come in, I don't remember what year, but yeah, he come in and he spoke a little English, not a lot. But anyway, Mr. Barnett asked me, you know, just to hang with me, which it wasn't no problem hanging. But because he did, we became good friends. And, you know, I mean, he's the one that invited me over to Japan. And, but he was a tough guy. Well, he used to be a sumo, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, he was a sumo, lost weight and started the wrestling. And then, you know, and used to back when it was territories, they would send guys over, certain guys. Well, like Memphis, I mean, we talked about that before. Like in Memphis, you know, Tojo, he would take care of the Japanese boys when they come over. And it was the same in the Carolinas or Kansas City. They would send them to different territories. And so they could learn some of the American way too, I guess.
Oh, yeah. Then they would go back over to Japan and they'd be bigger. You want to say they were stars when they left, but they would be kind of bigger stars from going overseas, and like they would come here, Gene. They would go to Mexico, and I mean, like Mexico meant a big deal to them too, because they always had the press with them, and there was always taking those pictures and getting those pictures out. Like Tommy tell you that Superstations first, as far as going everywhere. Well, the magazines was before the Superstation, the magazines was what got everybody everywhere and everything. But like I said, somebody had sent me, Tommy, that about you when you went over there for 10 run. I thought that was cool. That was in '93, and I also looked. They sent me a thing, Gene, in which you can pull up anything. Everybody knows that. You're kind of the historian of us three here. Tommy, how many major titles would you say that you've held?
Dang.
I guess I could have said, how many major titles would you say you've held? But I was going to say, if you go by which Gene says, some of this stuff ain't right that people sends me. But like I said, I think we all look at a little bit of it.
Yeah.
Probably about everyone they had in Georgia. And
it says 30-ish. I think I'm saying like 35. And you know what the cool things this guy sent me? He sent me like a history of stuff, Gene, on Tommy, which you and Tommy probably tell me what's wrong and what's right. But I popped because it was so funny, just different things that people keeps up with. You know what one of the things was, Gene?
What's that?
Theme songs. Now,
really?
Would you like this album of lists that Tommy's come out to? I popped, and I don't even know all these. Now, Tommy probably will, or he might shake his head and all. But we start out Staying Alive. Gene, can you see Tommy coming out to Staying Alive?
I don't know if I came out to that or not.
You ain't sure about that one? Well, how about Whiskey Bent and Hellbound?
I've done that one.
How about Back in Black? I'd say you've done that.
No, I did TNT.
Done Dirt Cheap, didn't you? Well, I've used Back in Black a time or two, so you probably come out there once or twice. But anyway, there's somewhere I laughed when I saw this one. It says Freebird. I thought that Tommy must not have had no other music that night if he come out to that.
I didn't come out to no dang Freebird.
and then
Michael Hayes would still be complaining if you did that.
Hey, I speak to say, or that might have been the reason
music anyway.
I speak to say that might have been why he did it. He might have walked out to music.
If I did, it was for spite, exactly.
And then here comes one I like, Gene. Here Comes Trouble.
Well, that might be true. The Polish played that one.
And then We Deliver. I thought, I don't think I've ever heard that one. Have y'all too? We Deliver.
I don't ring a bell.
And then this next one, which the next ones are kind of a little different. I thought Tommy must have a different music, man. Diddly Doo by Slim Peason or something. Do you know what that is, Gene?
No, I have no idea what that is. That's
now This one I would say yes to. All my rowdy friends are coming over tonight.
Yes,
I can remember that distinctly.
And then REO Speedwagon. I'd say this is probably true. Roll with the Changes. I can see that probably being one of them. Tommy might say not, but now is it not funny, some of the stuff that the different people? I mean, I know there's everything out there, Gene, and you pull up a lot of this stuff. But we was messing with Tommy about his Tojo and George Goulas being 6-man champions. This guy, like he said, he sent a Tommy's championship thing, and I popped the first thing. It said 2-time 6-man tag team champions. I thought, here's Tojo and George Goulas, but it wasn't. It was Junkyard Dog and Ricky Morton one time, and one time with Ricky Morton and Terry Taylor one time. I popped when I seen that 6-man tag. I thought, here we go with the Tojo.
Well, he didn't stay with Dog and Ricky Morton long because he said they wouldn't sell. He said,
I haven't listened to it yet, but your buddies Briscoe and Bradshaw had George Goulas on their show this past week.
I was going to ask you, Gene, have you watched that? And I bet but I mean, they're both very kind, and they'll be very kind and nice to them and everything. But I'd be interested to see what little tidbits of information comes out of that.
Yeah, I'll definitely be checking that one out for sure. But back to the other thing you're talking about, like the ring music. A lot of people have asked me over the years that kind of thing. And it's like, a lot of fans put a lot of stock into those things like ring music and things you wear and all that. And like, I've told people, like, there's not as much thought necessarily goes into all that as you think. Like, it might have been a big deal for you, like what song they came out to, but honestly, at one point, it might have just been the tape they had in their truck that night or something. It's not, it isn't always like a huge life decision. Do you get asked a lot about like trivial things like that you may not even really remember, but it seems like it's a big deal to a particular fan to hear your answer on it?
Man, I do, and I would say Tommy does too, which Tommy gets asked a million different things, but I get asked a bunch of stuff like that, and there's different things. Like, we went through, me and Tommy, which Tommy would always say, just pick wherever you want, it don't really matter. He might have had a few favorites or something, but I like went to a stage where I really like Jackal. Did you ever listen to Jackal, Gene?
I seen them open for, golly, it's at Tupelo Coliseum when I worked there as a stagehand. They opened for like ZZ Top or somebody. It really did not fit. Like, they didn't seem like the same audience, but they did. And the lead singer like tried to light something on fire, like a garbage can on fire on stage, and they ended up cutting them short and throwing them out of the building.
Well, like I said, I liked them, and they was a little bit harder than everything else I liked, but there was a few songs that they had, and they still kind of play them on the radio today. But one of them was called Down on Me, but it was really cool. It had a good beat and everything. And me and Tommy played it for about a year or so. And I mean, but nobody else, you never heard it anywhere back then, but when we come out. So I thought it was different, and it was kind of cool. It had a great beat and everything, but it was cool.
I tell you this, I remember watching you and Tommy and Mega Man Rodney Grimes walk out to Down on Me by Jackal as y'all were preparing to wrestle Outlaw Don Bass, Big Hoss Williams, and the Soul Taker there in Corinth, Mississippi.
You don't think that was for the 6-man tag team titles, do you?
If Rodney was in it, I'm sure y'all left as the champions one way or another.
Well, and you're going to laugh. You asked me what people ask us about. Well, Tommy, and I think this is a no-brainer, but if somebody asks you right now, what do you consider the greatest title you ever held? What would it be? I'd figure you'd say the NWA World Heavyweight Championship, right?
Well, I mean, back in my wilder days, I had that women's pet men's regret title. You know what I'm saying? No, the NWA World Heavyweight title, man.
Okay, well, I knew you'd say that, but now here's the kicker, Gene, where I was saying the guy sent me things. They said there's 2 other belts that he thinks you would say would be right underneath that. Now, either one of y'all, and both of y'all can guess, but you won one of them 3 times and one of them 1 time. What would you think those 2 titles would be, Gene?
I mean, I would think one would be the old Southern heavyweight title.
See, that's what I would have thought too. And Tommy can tell us if we're wrong or not, but this guy said Tommy won the national heavyweight title 3 times, and he said he bet that was the second underneath the world title, and then the third would be the Tennessee version of the NWA Mid-America title. And I thought, well, maybe he's thinking about the Southern title, but that could be. But does that kind of fall anywhere in line, Tommy?
Yeah. When you say international, you talking about the TBS?
Yeah, the national. Yeah, TBS. Yeah.
I think to me, the Georgia heavyweight title, and that would mean a lot. I mean, because I was so much in Georgia, and that's really where I got my big push. And I mean, that was just the Georgia heavyweight title, kind of like the, Memphis heavyweight title. I mean, just to know you done it on your own, which TV title was good, but in 2 seat, it's like, that's another thing, belts. I hate to stray off, but I'm going to go for a second anyway. Yeah. I mean, back when I was talking to somebody about this the other day, like back when it was territories, the reason the NWA World Heavyweight Champion meant so much is because, and even the junior heavyweight title meant something back in the day, because the territories, you had your heavyweight champion and you had your heavyweight tag team champion, and there wasn't no other belts. You know, I mean, so that made, you know, like the junior heavyweight come in or so, it made it really special. I mean, now, you know, they got, so I mean, I don't know how many, but each of these big companies, I mean, they got a belt for every day, you know, and plus some. But I just think the belts are special, you know, and meant to be special. And I think, you know, I mean, people come to see that, but when you got every match is a title match, I don't think it means as much.
No. I think you're exactly right. But and then I popped. I kind of went on down the list that this guy sent me, Gene. There's all kind of, like Tommy said, I think now every match almost has to, and I don't agree with this, but almost in every match you've got a belt and everything, so it makes it mean less. But like Tommy said, used to when you had, but also like he was saying, the Georgia title meant so much to him. Well, used to, if you had the Georgia title, or if you was here in Memphis and you had the CWA title, you was always the first guy up for the world champion. Like Tommy'd always, when he was champion in Georgia, when the champ would come in, you know, the world champion would come in, that would be the guy. Usually you was at the top, and that would be the guy that you work with. But I thought this was kind of a cool little tidbit, Gene. It said on the what we know as the Memphis CWA or AWA, whatever time period it was, said Tommy had held the tag belts, which the CWA, not the USWA. This is side, but you remember CWA and when they was with the AWA 6 different times. And I thought this was cool. 3 of them was with Dundee to start Tommy's career, and then 1 was with my dad, and 2 was with my brother. I thought that was kind of a cool little tidbit there.
Yeah.
That is pretty good. You go out to see me. You didn't tell me you had that information, man.
Well, I just got it, and I was looking at a little email that had come in, and it was just a different little information like that. And it says says the Southern title and the USWA heavyweight title combined, Tommy, you had them 9 times. So
wow,
you kept those for a good little bit, didn't you? And it says it was like 6 times just with me, USWA World Tag Team Champion. So that was pretty cool. But and it says you was talking about the Georgia Heavyweight Championship. Said you had it 3 different times. Tommy, does that sound right to you?
Yeah, that sounds probably about right.
And everything. But anyway, Gene, that's just a few little tidbits I had there. I wasn't trying to take up too much of your time here, but
that's what we're here to do, is talk about stuff like that, man. I love stuff like that. And you know, some wrestlers I've been around get annoyed by, like, well, they ask me about all this stupid stuff. You know, I don't keep up with that. But to me, you know, it shows that they were really invested in you, and they really cared about what you were doing to remember these types of things. And I mean, and seeing y'all's faces when these kinds of questions come up, I think it's pretty cool for you to be able to go back and remember that, because maybe you don't remember coming out to that song or that you held that belt or something. But you know, I've never really understood the guys that were like, "Man, they asked me about all this crap. I don't remember all that." You know,
I can't believe you didn't say one of my favorite ones.
Well, I'm going to tell you one I didn't know about, Tommy, which there's a whole lot more on here that this guy sent me. But what, Gene, I've never heard about this one. Tommy, what was the NWA Macon heavyweight champion? Was that something y'all just made up or what? Was that just a Macon, Georgia thing or what?
They had a Columbus heavyweight champion. And because Fred Ward, that was Fred Ward territory, so he had his belt. He ran Macon and Columbus.
Well,
so, like in those days, the NWA promoter can't just go changing titles of his own accord willy-nilly. But if he has his own Macon title or his Columbus title, he can do what he wants with that, right? But when the national champion comes in, then you'd have to take a vote or some, you know. But that way, their belt, they control it, right?
I don't really think. I don't think he had. I think everyone who had that belt just had to carry a bunch around no good weight.
Yeah, so basically Tommy's saying you're right, Jim.
Like I said, I think, you know, they didn't mean nothing.
Hey, but now this is a good one, Tommy Hill, Gene. I don't know where this one come from. And he was a one-time CWL heavyweight champion. So I was fixing to say, Gene, that meant Continental Wrestling Federation, but you know what it means?
Mm-mm.
Cajun Wrestling Federation. That had to be down
Oh.
there in Louisiana somewhere, didn't it, Tommy?
That was prior.
Our car dealer, our buddy in New Orleans.
Yeah, had the bar was
Yeah. So the cars and everything.
yeah, Franklin and wasn't Ben Franklin? No, Martin Franklin. That was his name. Dang, see,
Oh.
Sometimes I think I just I was walking in looking for clothes for my wife today. Walked around, thought I was lost, but when it comes down to it, I can really pull something really key out. Martin Franklin was his name.
That was his name. Hey Gene, listen to this. Tommy went out in a boat. Wasn't it a boat y'all went out in, Tommy, to that wasn't it was it a hunting blind or what?
It wasn't a hunting blind. It was out in the middle of the damn lake. It wasn't no hunting blind.
It was a house, Gene, I don't know.
It was up on stilts, and I wrestled, and Martin Franklin, he didn't even go. I thought he was going too. Anyway, I ended up going out there with a bunch of policemen, and that's back in my left-hander days, and
Back when you punched with the left hand.
Anyway, one of the guys that was with us, I said, and all it was, man, it had them big like railroad ties. It was a big box, and it had gravel in it, and the damn house was built up on it. I mean, it wasn't no leaving. When it got dark, it was dark too.
Yeah.
And so anyway, I said, if I wanted to go outside and smoke, where would I go? He said, go down there. I said, well, these fellas ain't gonna come down there. Anyway, I went downstairs, started puffing. All of a sudden, I got to thinking, hell, ain't like be a damn alligator out here. So I put that bad boy out, went right back upstairs.
But yeah, Gene, we had some times. Tommy took me down there with him a couple of times. And we
Hey, didn't you go to the guy with the bar too? Didn't you work for him?
Yeah.
I can't think what his name was.
I can't either, but you talking about Gene, which I mean, we went to some different towns, but there was always outside of New Orleans there and around. And the guy that owned the club Tommy was talking about, it was right in New Orleans, right, Tommy? But they was all really nice to us, but it was just, you talking about having some different times down there. And hey, Tommy, I was going to ask you though, didn't you tell me you started in 75?
In the 75.
How did you win Rookie of the Year in 78? Did you have a long rookie season?
No, it's when I made the book.
That's when you made the book.
Yeah, I didn't know about that.
I was hoping you were going to say you were a 3-time Rookie of the Year.
It just took me a long time.
Greatest of all times?
Yeah, well, Jared didn't have no Rookie of the Year.
Oh, okay.
It counted when I went to Georgia.
Well, hey, I was fixing to say he started in 79. I think he won it in 82. So I guess you and him was on that same trajectory
I don't know
pattern.
what made Rookie of the Year, but
Oh, man, that's cool. But anyway, yeah. Hey, Gene, you can get in or look and I guess find some really cool stuff. But like you said, I mean, it's funny what different people will ask you and everything, but it's got a lot of stuff. I think Wayne sent to me for a time. It's got a lot of stuff about me and you together in there.
It's funny what like I don't know what sticks out in people's memories a lot of times when you talk to them. Little small details about things that that was a big deal to them that might not necessarily have been to anybody else. But.
Yeah, I also said me and Tommy was on.
Something shocking amazed me one day. Me and Dougie's wrestling in Jonesboro, Arkansas. And Dougie, he always starts the match, And he told me, he said, you want to start? I said, well, I guess if you want me to, I will. Anyway, he said, he got to the back. I said, why do you want me to start? He said, I was using reverse psychology on that tag team we was wrestling.
Yeah.
He tried to throw him a curveball with me starting.
And then Gene, we got in the car.
Curveball.
We got in the car and we started back to Memphis. And I told Tommy, I said, "Man, I don't know what we eat earlier." And he started laughing. He said, what are you talking about? And I said, "Man, when we got in the ring, I said, I didn't feel good." And he said, "You didn't feel good?" And I said, "No, man." I said, "I didn't want to say nothing to you." I said, "But really, I didn't feel good." But we always, Gene, it was just a thing. I'd always start the match, and then Tommy come in a little bit later. But that night I thought,
"Oh man."
There you go. But it was just that's kind of the way we done things. But yeah, that night Tommy was really funny because we got back. I never thought no more of it. And I was getting undressed, and he looked at me. He said, "What'd you want me to start the match for?" I said, "I don't know," which I didn't tell him or nothing. Then we got in the car, and I felt bad, and I told him. But anyway, I was looking on through some of this other stuff, Gene, that this guy sent me about Tommy, and it goes over the new Fab deal in '84, and I thought that was cool. And it goes over Tommy's kind of run with Bill in '76 to '77, and Tommy, he's got from '75 to '77 a lot of matches that you was in with Tojo.
I was in a lot of run-ins. With that doggone superstar too. It was it. We was run-ins with a lot of tag teams, and run-ins with quite a few of the Law too.
That's well documented.
I was going to say, I had a picture too.
One night, "I'm the superstar." And he said he used a word he shouldn't have. Anyway, we didn't, but a pistol had got shot, and Dundee was out. We stand at the Passport Inn. Anyway, Dundee told that girl that she couldn't wrestle. Anyway, we'd been to the bar, and Dundee walked across the floor, and his gun fell on the floor. And doggone older man, they always rolled the red carpet out too. They said, "Tommy," he said, "you gonna have to get Bill out of here. You ain't gonna tell me twice." Anyway, I got him. We got the car, and then him and that girl, she was on TV that day. Lawler was doing some kind of thing with a mud wrestling deal. And anyway, they was talking about first he told her she didn't even know how to lock up. So they get out in the parking lot, the Passport Inn, it's like a horseshoe, so there's two ways in, and that's it. And of course, most of them are. But anyway, they get out and they locking up, and I'm thinking, boy, somebody looks out here. He's beating her up.
Yeah.
Well, nobody come out and said nothing then, but he got in the car, and that girl told him, she said, "Well, I don't know if I can wrestle or not." She said, "But I know you ain't going to shoot that gun." Well, his old drunk ass did. Stuck it out the window, popped it off about 3 times. Anyway, I had a '76 Oldsmobile Regency back then. I couldn't afford one at Fleetwoods or Cadillac Continentals like Jared and Dougie's daddy drove. They drove him. No, Tommy had a '98. I bought a '98. Tommy had one of them too, didn't he?
Yeah.
And, anyway, so we sit there and they still arguing. I'm thinking, I grabbed that gun, throwed it under the seat. I thought, well, this be the best play because he put it in the glove box. And so I sit there for a few minutes, man. I'm thinking, dang, I thought, anyway, all of a sudden, around both sides, about 4 cop cars coming around both ways. Son, they circled us, pulled first the security guard come out and said, "Did y'all hear some gunfire?" Well, hell no, we didn't hear nothing. And, we should have got out of the car and went in then.
Yeah.
So anyway, that's when the police came and they said, "Put your arms out the window," kind of like they did us, Dougie. I'm a bad influence, I reckon. Anyway, we stick our hands out, we get out of the car, and Bill said the cops, one's coming up to him. The first thing they said is, "There's a gun in the car." Well, no, sir, there ain't no gun in that car. First place they looked was under the seat. So I'm the yes sir and no sir, and the one I'm with. The other one's talking to Dundee. and they wasn't getting along anyway. But he's like telling him, "I'm the superstar, UMF. I'm a superstar. You ain't locking me up." Anyway, we get in the back seat of the car with the cuffs on. He says, "Excuse me, could you loosen these cuffs up?" And that policeman told him, "Yeah, when I get to the police station, I will." Mine was loose. And that's where with the mug shots, the mug shots you see on TV. That's that was that incident.
Okay, so that's the story behind those mugshots everybody shares.
That's
awesome.
it. But anyway, let's see, Tommy, do I need to go down this list a little further and get a few more stories?
Yeah. Bring back.
Shoot, yeah.
Oh, and then I had to take the route because Dundee, he had a green card, and if he'd got charged with that, they deported him. So I was a victim of circumstance and took the route for Dundee. But anyway.
Okay, and Tommy, on down to the Paul. What was his name? It's got, what was the tag team titles that you and
Paul Epperstein, the AWF.
Yeah, AWF. It says that you and Greg Valentine was tag team champions there.
Yeah, we ruled.
Was y'all the rulers there?
Yeah, for a period.
Now, how was that? How did that go, Tommy? And what do you think made it fail?
I'm gonna tell you what. That Paul Epperstein, man, he was I watched him gamble. He just had a lot of money. He'd take he would. We wrestled a few different places, but then we started going to Tampa and renting that movie studio. He'd rent that, and we'd do 4 or 5 shows there. But they didn't advertise it. They just paid like stand-ins. They paid for the crowd to come.
Yeah.
Right.
Give them signs, to hold up during the match. It was pretty good. It was, and then they'd fix a buffet, like a buffet like we had at AEW.
Right.
Anyway, they had one of them for them people, and then they'd have one for the boys. And then after the show, he'd take all the boys out to eat. You know how the boys are. They order the most expensive thing on the menu, and then drink, whether they like to drink or not, they drank too, So I know that was, you know how folks are sometimes. And, but I mean, that was cool. Oh, and then like we had rounds. They did rounds, like, I don't know, there's 3-minute rounds. And but yeah, that's hard because like rounds in boxing or UFC, that's a different type, I mean, in wrestling, man, you try to get them up. And it's hard to get them up for 3 minutes and then come back down and then try to get a heat and then had to stop before. And, I said, so it was a hard, it was a hard deal. But I enjoyed it. I mean, I had a lot of fun. That's what had play. I met Greg. I'd wrestle Greg. And he beat the hell out of me. But he didn't really beat the hell out of me. He just was stiff, like we talk about all the time. I mean, his dad was in the business, so he grew up when it was, as real would been. And so, I mean, you hear Dougie talk about his dad. I mean, his dad wrestled some of them guys and then wrestled all the kids too. I mean, Terry, Dory, and all of them, So it was to meet him there. And if you're ever around Greg, say you told us a joke like it's your comedian thing that you do.
Mm-hmm.
If you told us a joke and see Greg, you'd think, boy, I ain't doing very good. but really, like if you and me go and you get Greg to smile, then he's popping like I am. So you're really doing a good job.
So we need to get him to come to the show on June the 6th.
Oh, yeah, we need about 20 of him to come.
And but anyway, hey Gene, this is a list which they've got to be in. We'll ask Tommy this when I get done with this, Tommy, there's got to be a person, think about it for a second, that you would probably like to see this coming up weekend, and you might not know they're there. But I looked at the list, and it says Butterbean, and then it's got Tony Atlas, Tommy Rich, and that's on a little pull-up thing I did. That's the first three. Then you got Carlito and let's see, this Ciampa, you probably know who that is. Christopher Daniels, which me and Tommy know him from AEW. I was trying to look and see, but is there a name, Tommy? Demolition will be there. I know you like Bill Eady. And,
it's always good.
Yeah, and it looks like Ted DiBiase will be there. Road Dogg will be there, so you get to see them.
I haven't seen him in a minute, so it'll be good to see him.
Well, that's cool.
And Billy's going to be there with him too, ain't he?
Yeah, I believe so. And then you, Jim Duggan, and
well, I don't know if Jim wasn't he just in a car wreck, wasn't he? I just seen something about him being in a car wreck. That's some fake news, but he did.
I haven't seen that. He might have.
He was in a hospital bed. I mean, he had some kind of brace on. He said himself that he just had a wreck. Said he'd been coming home from a town and was 30 miles from his house or something, and I don't know if he hit a car or a car hit him.
But is there, Tommy, is there someone that I hadn't said on this list that you think might be there that you are looking forward to seeing?
God, I mean, there's so many people there, you know. I mean, Road Dogg, because like I hadn't seen him in forever, you know. I mean, a lot of these conventions, you get like, I see Bill, you know, I've seen Bill a lot.
Well, that's what I was just trying to look on here. I see where Honky Tonk Man will be there. You've seen him. I mean, you saw him in Jackson.
He's always good to see. Himself.
Wasn't that the big event where you saw Rick Martel recently and you hadn't seen Rick?
I seen him and Don Morocco. Now that was really
Morocco. That's it.
Yeah.
That's cool.
But
it looks like our buddy Tommy JBL will be there. You could see him, which is going to be.
JBL's cool. You know, it's always good. That's the thing. As much as the fans love it, I love coming to see the guys myself. Like this convention I just did, and probably the one before. You know, I love people taking pictures and everything. And I wrestled the best of the best. And wrestled with the best of the best. And if I didn't wrestle, I was in the dressing room with them. And, you know, back then, you was a big mark if you took pictures. And now I look back and see, like when my mama passed away, looking through her pictures and getting all them. I don't have none of that with my kids and stuff. And I look back and people say, I bet you got some cool pictures with somebody. I never did do that because I thought you was a big mark. And it wasn't really none of the guys do that.
No, none of us, which I say, I don't want to say that it was big marks, but I probably should say that. But I think what I tell a lot of people, we didn't take pictures. I think we took for granted that we was going to see each other so much. I think I don't want to say a fear, but I think one of the ways that we didn't look at bad stuff happening was we always thought it didn't matter. Even if you was leaving the territory, going to a different territory, it was still right when you saw each other again, you'd catch up like it was the next day if you didn't see each other for a year. I think we just use that logic of we're always going to be here and we're always going to see one another. But Tommy's probably right.
I guarantee you I'm right on my part because I wasn't bad, you know. These guys been to hear this young punk kid go ask me will I take a picture.
Tommy, can you imagine if after the match, if you'd brought the belt over to Harley and said, "Hey, Harley, can we take a picture together?"
Oh yeah.
He'd hit Tommy over the head with that belt.
And of course, back then when I started, we didn't have cell phones to where you could just take a picture like that.
Hey.
I mean, you'd have to carry one of them with a little flash cube that you had to take to the drugstore and get it developed. So that might have something to do with it too. But I never thought about it till somebody asked me. Like Doug, you talking about people asking you questions. Never thought about it. Never come across my mind. And then I watch and everybody takes pictures together now. You know, and so anyway, just one I got. I got with all the guys. That Bruce was there, Beefcake. I took one with him, and Shane Douglas, and Matt Riddle, and Heath Slater, and so I got my picture made. We took a couple group pictures, man. So anyway, it's pretty cool.
And this whole time that Tommy's been going over that, Gene, I've still been scrolling through pictures of people that's going to be there, and I don't know all of them, and I don't think Tommy would, but that's how many people. I swear it's on this little list that I just looked at that Tommy's on. There's 300 people.
Well, Chad told me it was close to 400, so y'all are about the ballpark, and and that's what he said. That's what Chad said. He knows everybody. He said, I don't know half of these guys.
That WrestleCon, if you had a week and all the money you could carry, you couldn't meet everybody there if you wanted to. There's just so many folks there.
So what he's saying, ladies and gentlemen, be sure to come by and see Tommy Wildfire Rich, former NWA World Heavyweight Champion, when the NWA was the NWA, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, and also his birthday's coming up. So if you already got his birthday present, it's coming up in another couple months, and he'll
throw a big party or something. Just let me know. I ain't made no plans yet, so I'm open for a big party.
And Gene, now that I've asked Tommy that, I want to ask you, if you've looked at that list, is there anyone there? Which Tommy, what I just saw a while ago was cool because I saw Morocco was going to be at the deal, and I know he don't make many things anymore, but he's going to be there, so that'd be cool for people to get to see him. I really enjoyed him, and he was really nice to me when I met him, and I met him during the ECW days when it's Eastern Championship Wrestling. Man, I got to work with him some, and Jimmy Snuka a little bit and stuff, and man, that was really cool times for me. I mean, they were both really cool. Don was really, really cool guy.
I'd love to meet him because he was a great wrestler, but I know a lot of people dump on it and say it was stupid and all that. But as a kid, I used to think it was funny, those things him and Mr. Fuji would do on TV, like the Fuji General Hospital and Fuji Vice and all that silly stuff. Because, Mr. Fuji was horrible at acting, and then in Morocco, was right there with him. And it's just, I don't know, it was fun.
Oh, yeah. And I think all that was cool.
Well, I'm going to tell Tom what you said because he thought he was pretty good at it.
He's still been waiting for the movie roles to come rolling in, ain't
he? Yeah. But
he might fly you out just to see it.
If you look in that front row on June the 6th and you see him sitting there, Gene, oh, man,
yeah.
Tommy's.
I know I better slip out the back door before the show's over.
But anyway, yeah, looking at that and list, say, Gene, there's, as far as you look back, say Morocco would probably be the one for you also.
Yeah, because he's one that he's never been on any other. I used to go to these things every year for a long time there in Charlotte, and went to one in Atlanta a long time ago, and then the one in South Carolina, WrestleCade and all that. And so I've met a lot of the wrestlers I grew up watching, and he's a guy that I always wanted to meet and just never did come around until just recently. So yeah, he would definitely be top of my list for sure.
Hey, on that list, he didn't tell you who the world wrestler's most sexiest wrestler was back then, did he?
Tommy, it don't say that, but if you want to, Gene can put in your Wikipedia profile. You are now
10 years in a row.
Well, the finalist was Ricky Steamboat, Rick Martel, and myself. And I'm just going to let everybody send in what they think. So don't tell them. Don't tell nobody. Y'all send in what you think. But, I got that pretty smile. You know what I'm saying?
Are you going, Gene, are you saying he's going to win this 3 years in a row too, or 10 years?
Yeah, he's going to be a 3-time Rookie of the Year, 3-time Sexiest Wrestler of the Year. We're going to pump up those numbers over on Wikipedia for him.
Well, man, that sounds like a winner. But hey, I'm going to tell you what though, Gene.
5 times sexiest man.
There you go.
Okay.
You got it last year, didn't you?
Yeah.
Yeah, last 4 years, I think. This will be the 5th year. But, Gene, hey, we're really looking forward, myself and Tommy both. I mean, everything that's coming up. Like I said, he's leaving to go to Vegas. He's leaving me and you this weekend, but he'll be back, like I said, in May. we'll be in Fairview Heights, Illinois. We're really looking forward to that. And Gene said in the past he might be able to come to that, Tommy. I don't know if he'll stick to that or not. He might have something to do now, but we're really looking forward to that. Like I said, that's at the Radisson Hotel, not the wrestling hotel like my wife thought I was saying, the Radisson Hotel, Fairview Heights, Illinois, May 8th and 9th, SICW Fan Fest 4. But like I said, we're looking forward to seeing everybody up there. Me and Tommy got a lot of friends up there and everything. We're looking forward to seeing everybody. And there's going to be, we were talking about how many people is going to be at Las Vegas, which Tommy's talking now too, but I can't hear him. But Gene, there's like it looks to me like 50 people or more is going to be at that Fan Fest, that SICW deal.
Yeah, that's gonna be a doozy too. Yeah, I was hoping to go to that, and then I realized that I'm booked in Tupelo for the VIP Championship Wrestling thing. I'm gonna be there selling books. I gotta get me some more. I gotta order some more of the Eddie Gilbert books, as a matter of fact. Now that I mention it, but that's going to be the big hook for that one. It is going to be the last ever appearance in Mississippi by handsome Jimmy Valiant.
Is that right?
I don't know if Jimmy got some bad news or if he's just decreed that he's just not coming back after that or what, but they say it's going to be his last appearance.
He said it seems like life lasts a lot longer if you don't go to Mississippi, so he's going.
You start losing your will to live if you go there too often.
Yeah, so he's going to go this one more time. But yeah, like Gene said, Hot Stuff Eddie Gilbert, the Uncrowned King, Amazon. You can get it at Amazon, or for myself or Gene. If you want Gene to sign it, catch him. If you want me to sign it, catch me at one of my appearances, and I'll sign one for you. But we've got them. You can go to Amazon and get it, and then you can come to appearance where Gene or myself sat, and we'll both sign it for you and everything. But that's cool. And like I said, that's a cool book, and it's a good read and everything. Like I said, I'm really proud of it and everything. But we got also on July 18th, Ashland City, Tennessee. I'll be there. Road Dogg will be there. Trying to get Tommy back up around these parts and everything, which Tommy's busy as can be too. But anyway, in August, I think it is, Tommy will be back up here. It's the August 29th, the first annual Sid Vicious Memorial Show. All the proceeds go to the Animal Clinic over there in Marion, Arkansas, and that's for a really good cause and everything. And man, there's just a lot going on. We've got dates open. Just seeing, like I said, if you want to send something in or you need me and Tommy for something, you can send it to Gene. He'll get it on to us. You can send it to me or Tommy and everything. But like I said, we had a great show weekend before last at Henderson. That was really good. Raised money for the Carl Perkins Child Abuse Center. That was cool. We've seen a lot of good fans there. But Tommy, say you're looking forward. Say you're leaving. You'll be in Vegas when this drops Friday, right?
Yeah, I'm leaving. I'm leaving Thursday. Yeah, I leave Thursday and come back on Monday.
So everybody that's listening to this right after it drops, that you can go right out to the what hotel did you say you're staying at, Tommy?
The Horseshoe.
The Horseshoe, Gene, and see Tommy. So me and you know where Tommy's at. We put a little thing on his phone to kind of keep up with him. Okay?
That's right. And tell him you heard about it right here on Dangerous Conversations. When you go up and tell Tommy, and if you tell him that, he'll thank you. I don't think he's going to give you anything, but he will give you a hearty handshake and tell you he appreciates it.
Yeah, and he might tell you how many times he's been that. I was going to say Wrestler of the Year, Rookie of the Year, but now he says Sexiest Man of the Year. So he's got a whole. We're going to have to get you plaques with stuff on, Tommy.
Hey,
there you go.
You done turned me, boy. If Jamie Dundee had all them bragging rights, he wouldn't know what to do with this.
He sure wouldn't. But Gene, I think I don't know that we started to go over a history of a little bit. I don't want to say a history because there's a lot more of Tommy's career we didn't touch on, but I think we jumped around on it, didn't we? On this
we
podcast
did.
A little bit, didn't we?
We talked about some cool stuff and stuff that don't always come up, and we didn't even get a chance to talk about the Big Don. So we'll have to dig into that more one of these days. And keep that in mind, folks. We talk about it all the time. If you want to book these guys, but you want the Memphis Mafia can be there. But if you want the Big Don to show up or the Dark Patriot or something, that could probably be arranged. So just reach out at Doug Gilbert Podcast.
Hey, if you like scary stuff, I bet we can get Freddie to show up too.
Hey, there you go. Halloween time before you know it.
You ain't kidding.
Boy, for us too, that's a lot of different characters, ain't it?
Yeah.
You ain't kidding, man. And you didn't even cover the mysterious one of the bunch.
Yeah.
I know. See, I realize now why that angle was so short. They couldn't justify covering up that face, or he wouldn't have won sexiest man if he kept running
Well,
around with the mask on.
AWF, I was luscious Tommy Rich with Greg Valentine.
Well, hey, what was
Word.
Greg called?
Greg the Hammer. What a duo.
No, handsome.
No.
But what did your man Paul want to call it? Now Greg didn't want to be called that, but what he wanted you to be luscious, and wasn't Greg supposed to be handsome, wasn't it, or something like that? Wasn't it? He had different.
I don't know. Yeah, but he wasn't having no part of it anyway.
Speaking of handsome, y'all had old Rico Suave out there with y'all. Boy, he was something else.
He was a cool cat, man. He's all right.
Was it? Who else, Tommy? Who else was with y'all on that deal?
God, Tito Santana, Sergeant Slaughter.
Chris Adams was on there, wasn't he?
Chris Adams.
So you had a motley crew there, huh?
Oh yeah, bunch of renegades. Yeah.
And who booked that, Tommy?
Sergeant Slaughter and Tito was the bookers.
The two champions.
Yeah.
Funny how that works, ain't it?
I was going to say some things never change, does it? But it's cool. But it sounds like they did have a really great, talented crew, Gene. I don't know how it was run.
Jimmy Garvin was there.
Is that right? But I mean, they had a ton of talent. But Gene, anyway, we can get back to jumping around Tommy's career anytime on here, and I think it's really cool. But it was cool that the guy sent me the thing that I was talking about. But Tommy can tell you a million other things. But man, like you said, Gene, if anybody's got any questions, just send them to Gene. You can tell on here. We'll basically answer. There's not really anything off limits and everything. But I want to say hey to Chip and Lucas, some of mine and Tommy's fans. They told me they Gene, they really even like you now. I said,
wow.
Well, that takes some getting to know. I said, we're trying to get Tommy to really like Gene. We hadn't conquered that yet, but
we're not even close.
Yeah, I told him we might be a little closer than we was at the start, but not real close. But listen, man, I sure appreciate it. I've had a great time on the show. Tommy, thank you. Gene, thank you. And like I said, if anybody's got anything needs Tommy for anything myself, shoot Gene something and we'll get it to you. But listen, thanks everybody for listening. I hope y'all have had a great time. Peace. We're out.
Relive the glory days of Memphis wrestling with the Retro Wrestling Review USWA podcast. Each week, we go back in time to review USWA Championship Wrestling from the 1990s, episode by episode. Join us for watch-alongs, behind-the-scenes stories, and exclusive interviews with people who were there and lived it. Whether you grew up watching it or you're discovering it for the first time, this podcast is your ringside seat to Memphis wrestling history. It's all a part of the WrestleCopia Podcast Network. Listen now at USWApodcast.com.
Step back into the wildest territory you forgot you loved. Join Gene Jackson and Rob Helt on the Retro Wrestling Review Continental Wrestling Podcast as they watch every available episode of Continental Wrestling Television. From the explosive beginning in 1985, all the way through the final bell in 1989. Watch along with us exclusively on the Retro Wrestling Archive Patreon, where the full video experience lives. Is listening your preference? The audio version drops everywhere you get podcasts, plus YouTube and Substack. Rediscover the stars, the chaos, and the magic of Continental Wrestling one episode at a time.
In the heart of Tennessee, born with pride, Doug and Tommy taking rings in stride. Memphis legends never backing down, wrestling warriors, they wear the crown. You scurry away, glory in their veins, fighting legends breaking chains. In the squared circle they made their name, podcast champions, it's their claim to fame. On the mic they roar, on the map they soar, dangerous conversations, fans wanting more. Podcast kings ruling the waves, Memphis wrestling raising the stakes. From title belts to Hall of Fame, Doug and Tommy carved the name. Fists of fury and hearts of gold. Every story, every fight retold. Tales of glory, laughter, cry. Tennessee warriors with hearts open wide. In the ring or on the air, legends living without a care. On the mic they roar, on the mat they soar. Dangerous conversations, fans wanting more. Podcast kings ruling the waves. Memphis wrestling raising the stakes.